elected as mayor in May of 2009. Prior community involvement included serving as the co-chairman of the town's diversity task force, organizer of community interfaith activities, and founder of Gilbert's Constitution Week. He has more than 30 years of private sector business experience, including 20 years with the Apollo Group and 9 years with Ernst & Young. His assignments have included information technology management, leadership development, and management consulting. He also has served in a staff position with U.S. Senator Jake Garn in Washington, D.C. He is currently serving in adjunct faculty roles in the business department at the Mesa Community College and at Northern Arizona University. Mayor Lewis earned an MBA from the University of Houston and a Bachelor of Science in Finance from Brigham Young University. He has been married to Lucinda for 34 years, and together they have 8 children and 10 grandchildren. The Lewis family has lived in Gilbert for 30 years. In addition to his mayoral duties, he also serves on the following regional boards and committees: the Arizona Board of Cities Executive Committee, the Maricopa Association of Governments Regional Council, the MAG Economic Development Committee, he's the chair, and the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport Board, the Greater Phoenix Economic Council Board, the East Valley Partnership Board, the Arizona Brain Food Executive Board, and the Care for Life Advisory Board. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mayor John Lewis.
To Lieutenant Colonel Benz, we need to thank you. You have been doing this for many years, as I am saying. To bring your mom here too, let's give a big round of applause. The council members know that we like to keep those bios real short, and I guess I could add that I also mow the lawn. And if I don't get the garage cleaned out by next Saturday, I'm in big trouble. I do appreciate my team members here. With what has happened so far, what will happen in the next few minutes, it is appropriate for me to officially declare this is another great day in Gilbert. Gilbert, as Eileen just mentioned, it's our 30-year Lewis family history of being in Gilbert, and we have just loved it. And it's events like this that just are tender in the heart. And to the organizers, thank you, and to the veterans for being here, and families and friends. This is what it's all about in Gilbert. We have received as a community many recognitions. With today being a focus on our veterans, I also think of our local public safety officials that protect our freedom. And one of those recognitions that we appreciate is being known as the second safest city in the United States. Last week another recognition came, and at first I wasn't exactly sure, but I was excited to hear that we were named as the 4th best place in the United States to celebrate Halloween. And when I looked at the criteria for that, part of it again was back to that safety, that it would be a family-friendly place to enjoy going door to door. And so, again, to our public safety officials, thank you for helping us get that recognition. The recognition that came a year ago that is dear to my heart, that is appropriate to tell you about if you haven't heard. A little over a year ago, Gilbert was noted as the 2nd best place for veterans to call home. And again, in a very tender way, I am very proud of that. And of course, we're going to work on being the 1st best, but it is events like this that give us a chance to thank you and recognize you. Locally, we have a wonderful team called Operation Welcome Home, and they put on another one of our special events where when we hear about one of our local team members who have been serving in the military and they come home, we have a big celebration. And And so if any of you know of someone who's just come home, we want to celebrate them coming home. That Operation Welcome Home team has also been instrumental in those who have served in the Vietnam conflict, of recognizing them. They are helping our team in Washington, D.C. in trying to find a digital photo of individuals who lost their lives in the Vietnam conflict, whose names are on that Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. 58,307 names. Arizona has 623 who are on that wall. And on Saturdays, between now and the end of December, at the Tempe Marketplace, is a facility. It's a storefront, but it's a place where you can go and give information, also see what I would call a nice museum related to those who have served in our Vietnam conflict, and a place where you can get information about providing information. And there happens to be a couple of tables out here where also you can talk to that group. But we appreciate their efforts, and we're looking forward to a future park that will be nearby that will celebrate all of our veterans and have special significant emphasis on our Vietnam veterans. I pause for a minute as I think of our veterans, that there are some here today. And the aging process happens. It's happening to me, and I don't like it, but of special significance. If any of our veterans who are here today who served in the World War II conflict or the Korean conflict, if you are here, could you please stand so we could recognize you? A hand. Thank you. Keep coming to this event. We appreciate you. Another group that in the last year since we were together that was recognized in the Gilbert Town Council meeting, we have 6 Gilbert residents who have been inducted into the Arizona Veterans Hall of Fame. To be inducted into that special Hall of Fame, it's individuals who have returned from their service and have continued to do significant things to support veterans or to find ways to support their local community. Those 6 were recognized. I don't know if some of them are here. I know a couple who are here, but the 6 Gilbert residents who over the years have been inducted into the Arizona Hall of Fame, I want to share their names. In a council meeting, we had them come and they were recognized. And if they're here, if they could please stand. Lieutenant Colonel Lowell Fox, U.S. Air Force, inducted in 2005. Technician Sergeant Paul Switek, U.S. Air Force, inducted in 2008. Captain John Sense, U.S. Navy, inducted in 2009. Please. Captain Carl Kohlhoff, U.S. Army, inducted in 2011. Specialist 5 Oscar Urea, U.S. Army, inducted in 2013. And since we last met, 3rd Class Petty Officer James Monroe, U.S. Navy, inducted in 2014. James, you sat down too fast. James, if you can come up here, please, and stand on my right side. Inducted into the Arizona Veterans Hall of Fame in the last year, and for many reasons, his service, but locally, he has been the leader of the East Valley Veterans Parade for many years. And that happens to be planned for next Wednesday, and I think everyone here is invited. Downtown Mesa area starts officially at 11, and so
it's free.
And it's free. We have identified 3rd Class Petty Officer James Monroe as the individual today to receive the town proclamation. I'd like a few others to come up here. Could members of the Gilbert Town Council come up here, and then County Supervisor Denny Barney come up here, and then representing our state representative Warren Pearson. We'll just put you down here. Vice Mayor Jordan Ray, if you can be at the end, and you'll understand. Now, our federal government officials, thank you. Lee, we're just going to let you stay put on this one, but there are 6 paragraphs in this proclamation. I will ask each of you to read a paragraph. Let's see if I've got this right. 2, 4, 6, and then Vice Mayor Ray, if you can, I've got one sentence I'm going to insert, and then you'll be the very last paragraph. And then when it says I, you can just say we. So without practice, our Gilbert Town Council, county and state elected officials, please.
Whereas Veterans Day, November 11th, is set aside annually for celebrating our military veterans and was begun as the commemoration of the end of hostilities of World War I, which went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and
whereas November 11th marks a day to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good.
And whereas, like the heroes before them, today a new generation of men and women are fighting for freedom around the globe.
And whereas, in honoring our veterans, we also wish to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, laying down their lives that we may live in freedom.
And whereas, as we honor our veterans with ceremonies on this day, let our actions strengthen the bond between a nation and her warriors.
Whereas on this Veterans Day, we pay tribute to the service and sacrifice of the men and women who have bravely worn the uniform of the United States military. Every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and Coast Guardsman has earned the lasting gratitude of the American people.
Now, therefore, I, John W. Lewis, Mayor of the town of Gilbert, do hereby proclaim this week of November 2nd, 2015 as Veterans Week in Gilbert, Arizona.
We encourage Gilbert citizens to recognize the valor and sacrifice of our veterans and thank them for their service to our country. We invite civic and fraternal organizations, places of worship, schools, businesses, and the media to support this national observance with commemorative expressions and programs.
So Jim, representing all the veterans here, we officially provide you this document framed with that proclamation, and to all of you, thank you. Jim, would you like to make a comment or two?
It's quite an honor to represent my fellow men and women in arms in receiving this. It's quite humbling to look out amongst you, see all of you veterans and active military folks and your families, and to realize that I have the opportunity to receive this on your behalf. And it's just great that the town of Gilbert honors veterans and recognizes our service in this way. We moved into Gilbert about 9 years ago. May have been the second best decision I ever made. The first one was marrying Joan. That's true, by the way. She didn't make me say that. And again, it's just an honor, and it's great to see all of you. And hopefully you veterans will join me in accepting this from Gilbert. Thank you so much.
So let's see, Jim, if I've got it straight, next Wednesday, the official November 11th, the parade begins at 11 in downtown Mesa. It's free. Everyone here is invited. Anything else?
Yes, the Mayor Lewis and friends will be joining us in that parade.
One additional individual. Marie Cosmo. Marie, where are you? Could you please stand? There you are. Vice Mayor, right, there's some flowers over there. Phil's got them. Where's Phil? Okay, Phil's got them, thank you. Phil is bringing to Marie some flowers in token of our appreciation. This is the 11th annual Veterans Day ceremony celebration that we've had in Gilbert.